Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
Christmas pudding, leftover turkey sandwiches, and falling asleep watching Harry Potter on TV. These are three Christmas traditions in most households in this country. Right now, we're going to do the brand new one hitting the nation, which is the second ever annual Cultaholic Awards. Some call it the Diddleys, some call it the Culties.
Everyone calls it the Diddleys. It's the Diddleys, apart from the official title, because that'll get demonetised.
Exactly. You can call it what you like, but we're going to stick with the Diddleys because it's funny to say that word.
I'm excited because we're all right now at this podcasting log. Last year we weren't very good.
We weren't. Last year we had a stunning toy of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine as the gift. But now we have an amazing trophy for the...
Is that puppet included?
Nah, he's just having some fun. Too much sherry. How this will work, if you didn't watch last year's show, and if not, what's wrong here, is I will list off a category. I'll also list off last year's one, just so you have to catch up. One of these lovely gentlemen will give their pick, then the other one will hit theirs, and then it will be decided by myself as the deciding vote, because who knows more about wrestling than these three diddlers?
Yeah. Before we start, I want to give a shout out to Richard, who was setting up the tech for this podcast episode, and he said one bit of advice was really good. If the camera stops recording, then just stop. Well, yeah.
Not the best here. Cultaholic. Ross, are you ready?
No, we're doing this twice, so keep it subdued for the first time, because then we can save the good stuff for the second time. This is going to take inevitably, because everything's gone wrong today. Right, what are we doing the first one, are we?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Jack?
I'm ready.
Fantastic. First of all, most underrated in all of wrestling. Last year's winner, Chad Gable. Now,
He's not done well since.
I was going to say, I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'm going to guess he's not winning this year. So
Shorty G.
that's what he's now known as. Speaking of which, Jack, who is your pick for most underrated?
The tallest man on the podcast.
I think you're taller, you know.
I don't know. It's close, but I think you've just got
I'll be Shorty G, it's all right.
But if you're setting your Green Day collection, then you're the tallest here. So, who is your most underrated of 2019?
Akira Tozawa.
Ooh,
Yes.
That's a nice pick.
Thank you. Obviously, he came into WWE well regarded by those in the know who'd seen him before. I think he was a Dragon Gate boy, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was regarded as really good. He's got all the connections with all the lads. He's friends with Ricochet and everyone. From shoot interviews, he seems to be just an absolute joker, and everyone seems to love him. But he doesn't get enough of a chance on WWE programming. Because every match you watch him in, you think, oh, God, he's actually really good. He often loses, but he makes the other guy look spectacular. There was a recent Raw where he lost against...
Drew
Alistair Black.
McIntyre.
Oh, both
Either
fine.
or, yeah, both good performances from him. And yet he never really gets a push. Apart from that short stint in 205 Live, but then that didn't last very long. So I think, yeah, I'd really like to see Tozawa get given more of a chance on the main roster. And I think he deserves it. He's very entertaining. He's got good spots, and he says ha a lot.
That's a good one. Ross, got anything to beat that?
No, I think you should give it to Akira Tozawa, because me and Adam did a tier list for Raw. And I was like, Akira Tozawa is a lovely, lovely, lovely tier guy, which is the second tier from the top. And he's like, now.
What?
What did he say?
Had him put him in lower. Now. So I had to put him in lower. So justice for Akira Tozawa. Anyway, I'm going for Volta.
What?
And hear me out on this one. 2 times we've seen Volta on the main roster this year. Once was that open challenge thing against Seth Rollins that descended into Volta needing his pals to go, oh, I'm scared of Seth. Well, not scared of Seth, you know what I mean? You need his pals to get the job done, and which in the end, they didn't get done anyway because they got beat, didn't they, in an 8-man tag match, or a 6-man tag.
Yeah,
I
you're
can't
picking that
remember what it was.
old wound.
Yes, and then Survivor Series, of course, happened, and 32 seconds in or something, he gets hoofed in the face by Drew McIntyre, and he's eliminated. So, for my money, Volta should be wrestling Brock Lesnar every week. He should be that high on the card. I think he's fantastic. He's different to anything else on the main roster in WWE, as far as I can see. So I think he's severely underrated, because the 2 times we've seen him on the main roster, it doesn't show very promising signs for his future there, does it? Because the UK division, they're all lovely lads, I'm sure, but it just doesn't count, does it? That's the story we've been told. They are not real WWE superstars, are they?
Oh.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
That's a very compelling argument to make. However, as much as I would like to give Walter all of the awards,
All of the
one
diddlies.
thing I cannot give him is most underrated, considering how much I've been bigging him up for the past 2 years. And thank you all for coming around finally. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with your advice, Ross, and give
fine.
this one to Akira Tozawa.
Eat that one, Adam.
Yeah, 1-0 Jack. Those keeping score.
Jack 1, Adam 0.
Next up, most improved, and last year's winner, Carmella. That's right. She had that stint where she got really good, and then she's just been entertaining more this year.
She's
And
again.
she flipped. She was a heel for much of last year, wasn't she? Now she's
Right.
a R-Truth sidekick for much of this.
Yeah, like Chad Gable, she's had a less spectacular year.
Yeah.
Is this a cursed award, maybe?
Oh no! Well, I've been in the front
Spirit
cover
of
of FIFA.
5-star wrestling's running through the diddlies. Everything's going wrong.
All right then, Ross. Who's your most improved of 2019?
Bray Wyatt.
That's
Look
a
at Bray
good
Wyatt
one.
in 2018 compared to Bray Wyatt in 2019. I know his gimmick doesn't lend itself to great matches, but I don't mind that because you see enough great matches in every other match on every other card just about. What was he doing in 2018? The tag team with Matt Hardy that fizzled out into Nout, which should have been a hell of a lot more than it was. We could talk all day about the long rambling promos that gave birth to Rambling Rabbit and whatnot, but I don't know what else to say. Just chalk and cheese in it. Bray Wyatt, the rambling, mystical, spooky magician, idiot, fool, compared to the Fiend. It's the happy-go-lucky, normal, not normal version. Just fantastic. That's his graph.
That's great. That's not going to work on the camera, but we know what you meant. Jack, that's a tough one to beat. What you got?
I've got Jay White from New Japan Pro Wrestling because last year he was getting a bit of flack from certain quarters because Jay White, he got pushed to a big match with, I think it was Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. And Tanahashi, kind of semi-carried him, it looked like. And everyone was like, he's not ready for this sort of level. They're only pushing him because Kenny Omega's leaving and they need a new foreign heel. So Jay White got a big push. He won the belt out of nowhere this year. And since then, even though he lost it, he's been really, really entertaining and really good as like an upper mid-card awful heel. He's the leader of the Bullet Club, kind of, and he's just brilliant. The G1 Climax this year all built to a very traditional wrestling conclusion, which is weird for a tournament that's so based around work rate and insane matches and stuff. And the final was just Ibushi, the mega babyface, against Jay White, the mega heel. And the night before the match, Jay White injured his leg. It was just classic NWA storytelling, and it worked really well. So I think going from someone who everyone looked at and went, he's not ready for this level, to someone who now everyone's like, he is absolutely ready for this level. I'm going for Jay White.
That's a good pick.
I'm out of breath. That was a bit of a speech, a bit of an impassioned.
That the UN were performing in front of here. That's good.
I think he should be impeached.
Oh God. Anyway, Jay White has improved lots. I do enjoy saying knife pervert on Twitter.
Knife
Being understood
pervert,
by
yes.
people, that's a fun name. However, Bray Wyatt last year, you wouldn't have got 50p from Bray Wyatt 2018 from CEX.
No.
So to see him go from that to what he is now, one of the most entertaining things on the SmackDown brand, I'm going to have to give it to The Fiend.
Fair
So,
play.
there we go.
Fair enough.
50-50.
Fiddy.
For some reason, I'm expecting a giant reaction from the
Whoa!
camera.
Whoa!
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, settle down.
Sam, give us a cheer. Sam,
Give us a
give
cheer.
us a cheer, Sam.
Yay!
Hey! Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Hope that came
That will
through.
not be heard. Most charismatic. Last year's winner, Becky Lynch.
Very, very sensible
Easy
choice.
win there.
Yes.
So, who have you got this year, Jack?
I can't remember. I've got Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
Good
Yeah,
one.
I feel like he has really been the driving force behind Dynamite. There's been good and bad points to Dynamite, but every time Jericho's on the screen, he's been so consistently giving us gold. As you said on the podcast, it's almost like there's too many memes for us to handle. He just throws so much material. It's just like, oh my God, what's going on? And his promos have been absolutely excellent. He's maybe the funniest wrestler in the world today. And when he needs to get serious, he can do. And one thing that he's always excelled at, Jericho, all through his career, is that he's not afraid to look like a crybaby or an idiot. When he's losing and he's the heel.
Stupid idiot.
The Stuart, hey!
Sorry, carry on.
It's all right. No, it's really good. Yeah, Chris Jericho, most charismatic. That's my nomination.
Good pick. The mean machine himself, Jericho. Who have you got?
The Mean Machine.
Wait.
I'm going for the
Oh, the
pound.
meme machine.
The mean meme machine.
Right.
Mean is in
Yeah.
meme is in Jericho, machine.
Yeah.
I'm going for the Poundland Chris Jericho. MJF.
Oh.
And I'm only saying that because that's what they're saying on Twitter these days. I saw someone, I thought it was Jericho himself, going, what do you think about this MJF? Because someone was like, oh, he's got a scarf and he's a heel and he just calls people names. It's bootleg Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
That's not my personal opinion, just for the sake of the diddlies. I think he's one of, if not the best promos in professional wrestling today. On Dynamite, we haven't seen it all too often, But everyone knows he can do it. Some people might say, oh, he just calls the fat people fat. And oh, he just calls people spotty and pathetic stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, good, because it works, doesn't it? It gets people riled up. And the way he says it, no one says it better.
When he said on Twitter something like, yeah, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. People got
so
annoyed.
God, that went everywhere.
Then 50,000 muscular men and women were like, yeah, I like it though.
Yeah, Vin Diesel was like, I'll have a bit of you.
Yeah, loads of these people who would laugh at people like, oh, wrestling's fake. Suddenly got really set upon by, yeah, that guy's a D&D's not good. Get him, boys.
That shows how good he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough.
He's also brave, because I had to go at the Game of Thrones crowd on Twitter once, and I didn't log on for a week after that. Just had my life.
What, did you say season 8 was great or something?
I said that you react to it like wrestling fans react, and then someone went, we don't treat it like an actual sporting contest. So then I replied with a reaction shot of a bar when someone gets stabbed, and they're all like, yeah! And I was like...
Someone gets stabbed in the bar and they were cheering.
No. They were watching it in the bar.
Oh, I see.
A dragon or something got stabbed.
In a car?
In a bar.
A car?
Sorry,
I've had a wrong week, me. I'm dying here.
I've derailed.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones in a bar sounds really crazy.
Anyway,
we're
good
digressing.
pick from Ross, MJF.
Thank you, yeah.
MJF or
Great
Jericho?
picks, all right. I think I might have came a year too early with MJF, you know.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think he's only going to get better.
I know, yeah.
So, you know what? Even though Jericho was amazing and has given us 10,000 memes.
They're shocked.
No!
They're
I'm
shocked
going
at
to go
the
with
deadlies.
MJF because I've had the experience. Did you have the pleasure of seeing him at Starcast?
No, I've never met him. I don't want to meet him either.
He,
I'll just feel sad afterwards.
yeah, because that's what he's doing that 24/7.
What did he say to you?
I can't say on here. No, actually,
PG it down.
you're looking good. Yeah, that was realistic. Yeah, so I'm going to go with MJF just because, God, he's good.
He is just good, isn't he?
Yes, he
And
is.
that's the beauty in how good he is, though. He just says the basic things.
Yeah.
But it works better than like a 25-minute promo from somebody else.
Right, and also, a little quick thing. I've probably told this before. At StarCast, he went up to someone and, give me your phone. The guy went, MJF took the guy's phone, logged into the guy's PayPal, gave MJF $15, gave the phone back, and the guy was like...
Why would you let someone
And then he
do that?
tweeted it like, he did it. I just, had to applaud the moxie. Not that I could say or do. Yeah. So, if Jericho did that, you think they'd be the same? You'd be like, no, you got money. So, yeah, MJF, sticking with that one. Oof. And next one is Best Non-Wrestler. 2018's winner was William Regal.
War Games!
I think we're all going to do that one. So, it's a good one. Ross, what do you got?
I thought this was a bit of a struggle this year because nobody for me's really stood out.
Yeah.
But I've gone for Sami Zayn because while he I know it's a weird one to pick because he should still be a wrestler, but he's not for whatever reason. He's a manager now. He's got a managerial double license that allows him to appear on both Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. But every single time he appears on the camera, he's just good, isn't he? He's just good. He said AEW on Raw this year. That's a thing that happened. He's another one of those. It's like he's proper underutilized in a managerial role as he was as a wrestler in WWE, I think. But every time you see him, he just knocks it out of the park, doesn't he?
Yes.
Some might say it might get a bit repetitive, the stuff he says, but I think it's just great, captivating stuff every time.
I mean, there's a lot to be said for repetition in wrestling. I mean, every week we call someone a diddler. And he was going up.
It just pains me that they never paired him with Bryan properly, like those two fighting against the world.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic, that.
Like the two, like Eco Warriors? Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Come dressed out like the Road Warriors. But slightly more eco.
With twigs.
Apple Road. Yeah. Jack, what you got?
Excalibur, the AEW commentator man and former PWG wrestler. Yeah.
Interesting choice. Why is that?
Because he's just done such a good job with the hand he's been dealt on AEW behind that booth.
He's the glue, isn't he?
He is the glue.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that JR's not trying, but he is just getting confused these days. And Tony is actually doing really well, considering he's also in a similar boat to JR and has been out of wrestling longer. He's actually stepped back into it better than I think anyone would have imagined. But Excalibur's the one who knits it all together. He's a good combination of classic play-by-play, like calling moves, knowing the names of moves, things that like our type of fans want to see more of after years of Michael Cole going like, whoa!
Blue Thunder Bomb.
For every, yeah. And I think that also he's got the kind of slightly more niche cool factor because of his background that relates to a lot of like uber smarky fans who watch. So he's a bit of something for everyone. I don't personally agree with Jim Cornette. I don't care that he wears a mask. I don't know why that's a bad thing. When Cornette seemed to get really annoyed, he's like, the first shot was of this mud-yard wrestler in a mask. What's he doing? I don't mind the mask. He looks like a wrestler. He looks like he's involved in wrestling. I think he's good. And I enjoy his old clips on YouTube as well.
Yeah, lots of them, aren't there?
Calling Adam Cole fat a lot of times for some reason.
El Generico is a big
He's
boy.
a big boy. My name is Cassius Ohno. My name is Chris Hero, and I throw elbows.
Okay, those are two good picks, and congrats on take the moral higher ground, not picking like Luke Harper or the Colons or the Usos. So, it's tough. On one hand, Sami Zayn has fought homophobia and kept the good name.
Oh, yeah, you
You
Veganism
should have said
everywhere.
that. He's a very wholesome man.
I heard
That's
you,
it.
heard you.
Just for charity.
However, as good as nice that is, especially in the world of wrestling, that still pales in comparison to Excalibur, giving us one of the stories of the year between him,
Oh, my God.
Jimmy Havoc,
No.
a little bit of the bubbly,
Jimmy Famous Seafood, was it?
and
Restaurant?
it's famous now, and a broken phone or two, which then segued into the Phil Mitchell is Excalibur in that mini story.
Yeah.
So it has to be, for those two things alone, and the fact that he's keeping AEW Dynamite a reason to keep the volume on, Excalibur wins
He's
this
got
one for me.
a cardboard cutout of Excalibur just over there. Richard! Richard!
No, don't make him do two things. Wow, here to receive the... No, I couldn't even. Try again.
Wow, here to receive the award in person, Matthew was going to say. Is
Oh, that
Excalibur. How do you feel, Excalibur?
Wow. Tope Con, hello. Wow, it really is him. Well, thank you very much for coming.
I
Off.
love the way he says that word. It's like, Tope Con, hello.
Yeah.
Eee.
Oh, no expense spared here at Cultaholic
It's
HQ.
just like the BAFTAs.
That's right. Best gimmick.
Oh.
Last year's winner. Oh, Becky Lynch.
Oh, she was a double winner last year, wasn't she?
She was. Becky, 2 awards.
I
Two
thought.
diddles.
I almost said it.
Becky two diddles.
I seem to remember Velveteen Dream pushing her close for best gimmick though, that time.
Yeah,
But still, she won best gimmick.
he has. But that was last year. Jack, who have you got?
Best gimmick this year, I've gone for John Moxley. Just because the contrast between his gimmick in WWE and how he is now is so good. It's so apparent. Like he turns up and he's got that sense of like something's gonna happen. He's got a bit of a Rock or Austin about him where he's just fully confident in what he's doing. And he looks, as they said when he turned up at Double or Nothing, he looks free now. He just looks like he's having a great time, and that feeds into his character really well. It's slightly different in Japan. He's more of like just a straight competitor who wants to beat people up and has kidnapped Umino for some reason. Although he's in England now, isn't he? He's got an excursion. Shota Umino.
Oh.
Yeah. And then in AEW, he's more of like an anti-authoritarian, anti-hero, Stone Cold type babyface. But I think he's just doing really well, whatever he's doing. He's having good matches as well. And an important part of a gimmick, he looks really cool. I think he looks cool now. He's got the little shorts and the jacket and the spray paint. John Moxley.
Good pick. Ross, what do you got?
Bray Wyatt.
No. No, as in, no, I'm agreeing. I'm like,
I don't know if people think it's been ruined. I personally don't think it has just yet. The one thing I haven't liked about it is the fact that, superstars know where the Firefly Funhouse is. That's the one bit I would change.
Oh, yeah, Seth found it, didn't he?
Yeah, Seth just walked in. That's not, he burned it down. Not a fan of that. But I think, as we're sat here, the first vignette aired the Raw after WrestleMania. That's how long this has been going now. The first, remember the buzzard in the box. It's all been going from there. And I've enjoyed it all the way. As I say, there's just one bit I didn't like about it. Obviously, the red lighting is a bit of a drawback as well. I'm talking myself out of this. It's just great, isn't it? I'm too used to going, this is a WTF moment. I can't say what's good anymore.
Yeah.
I'm broken. Bray Wyatt, though, because it's fantastic. The pudding speaks for itself. There is the proof. A Bray Wyatt flavoured pudding, what would that be? Apricot.
Yes.
Oh. I've never had one of them before.
No.
Apple. A red apple. There you go.
Love apple pudding.
Yeah.
Apple crumble in there.
Yowie wowie.
Yowie wowie.
What a great podcast.
Wow.
Those are two good, healthy picks.
Thank you.
I'm going to break it down like this.
Oh.
They've had 2 great years. Both reinvented themselves very well. On one hand, John Moxley gave us that hardcore classic with Kenny Omega.
Did you like it or not? 'Cause
I
know
liked
people.
it.
You liked it, right?
CG
Okay.
dub. Well, on the other hand, Bray Wyatt also gave us the Hell in a Cell main event. So By that much, I give it to Mox.
That's a fair way.
That's a fair one.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know.
I shouldn't have mentioned it, should I?
You were doing so well until you said
myself on.
all the reasons to not pick it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
That was the downfall. Feud of the year. Last year's winner, Gargano versus Ciampa. Ooh, remember that one?
Yeah.
Well,
They
Ross.
tag team this year, remember?
no. No. Moving on, 2019 Feud of the year.
Seth Rollins versus himself.
Go on.
Take your minds back to April. WrestleMania. Every man, woman, child, dog, puppet, everything was behind Seth Rollins in his quest to take back the Universal Championship from this mercenary, this tyrant, Brock Lesnar, bring it back to Raw, have it on TV every week. Well, go on, Seth, you can do it, Bonnie lad, good luck to you. And then something's happened in the early summer where he became an unlikable dick. And he just kept saying thing after thing after thing after thing. We write the news here, or report other people's news here at Cultaholic. Every single bloody day, it was Seth Rollins who said something else about somebody else that has made him look like a dick. So just imagine, back in April, saying that Seth Rollins now, in December, would be a heel. You would have slapped me in the face, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It would have been impossible to think that was going to happen. But he's talked himself into it, I think, anyway, because the large majority sort of us, our demographic, I've just used that word and I feel terrible, our demo, has seen what he's been saying in private and in interviews and on Twitter, and just don't like the guy anymore, so they've had to really do it, haven't they? And it's just, you wouldn't have thought it was going to happen, would you?
No.
I didn't expect to see it.
So,
It's
yeah.
an interesting pick. Seth Rollins versus Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins versus himself. If he just kept his mouth shut, he'd been selling millions of t-shirts now. Losing out on all that money, innit? And then he said F money like Virgil. Sorry, Soul Train
Yeah,
Jones.
Soul Train Joe. Come on, we'll get sued. Oh, it's a tough one. Jack, what do you got?
My feud of the year features Soul Train Jones. It's Cody versus Jericho. I just think it's been really good, funny at times, dramatic. It featured other storylines coming into play, like MJF finally turning on Cody and everything. And it brought us that video package that I just loved so much when Jericho and the Inner Circle mock the Elite and their style of videos, or the Rhodes family and their style of videos. And I was a fan of the match as well, that they had the big blow-off match. It wasn't like the best match we've seen in AEW so far, but it was dramatic. Cody nearly broke his face. Well, he did. And he's still got that scar. Has he not let that heal
Called it
properly?
his third eyebrow, apparently.
Why
Good
would you...
segment on Soccer AM, that, wouldn't it?
If you had such a
Alan
classically...
Chamberlain's third eyebrow.
If you had such a classically handsome face, why would you do that? Why would you leave
I
it all busted?
will never know the answer to that question,
Yeah,
Jack.
me neither. I'm gonna
So,
do.
Neither
glad you
will
brought it up. I guess. But don't let the track from your pick, which is a very good one.
Thank you. And I think they've both been really good. And I think it was right that Cody didn't win, but I'm excited or intrigued. I'm intrigued to see if and how they try and work around the stip that he's not allowed to ever go for the belt again.
Oh, that's tough, because on one hand, that has been maybe the best thing that AEW's done all year. On the other hand, it would be really funny to have Seth Rollins versus a live microphone as an award. And we read it next year going, oh yeah, remember we did that? That was
Could
great.
you imagine if this time next year he was like fully babyface again? I don't think he'd ever go back to babyface.
I literally can't imagine that right now. If he doesn't talk ever. Then
Yeah, that's the only. It's his big mouth.
So,
Idiot.
oh God, I just remembered we're an AEW kick-ass
Yeah,
podcast.
we are.
Oh, there we go. The winner, Cody and Jericho. Was there any ever doubt? Oh, shouldn't say. And so leads us to best major show. Last year's Takeover New Orleans.
That was a great
That
show.
was
Still the
amazing
best
show.
takeover ever.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, same.
Still.
And it's interesting because rather than without doing any research for this, I'd actually probably sit down and think about
I
what
did as
shows
well.
stands
Yeah.
out. So, Jack.
I've gone for the equivalent this year, the WrestleMania weekend takeover, which was Takeover New York.
Okay.
It had Gargano Cole before everyone got sick of them doing all the moves. It was the match that started to turn people's opinion, but it was a very good one. The 2 out of 3 falls,
Okay. Yeah.
where Gargano won, and then Cole won it back after that.
Uh-huh.
It also had, I think that incredible, was it the ladder match maybe? No, wait. I've forgotten
tell
what was
you.
it. Go on, thank you.
It had
Oh,
I'm glad someone did research.
War Raiders. Remember them? Versus
Okay.
the team of Aleister Black and Ricochet for the NXT Tag Team
that was a really good
Championship.
match.
Oh,
yeah.
Velveteen Dream versus
Matt
Matt
Riddle,
from
that was
North
really
America.
good.
Oh,
yes.
that was good.
Volta won the United Kingdom
Pete Dunne and
Championship from
Volta,
Pete
that was the
Dunne, yeah,
one. That was the one.
Shayna Baszler defeated Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Kairi Sane.
Don't remember that one, but I
Championship.
remember sure it was
And then
good.
your two out of three falls.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
mine.
that's a good
I
one.
knew there was another reason apart from the main event, and that the other main reason was Pete Dunne and Walter, which was a class match. Yeah, I thought it was a really fun show. But I do still think that last year's was the best takeover ever. Still,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would agree with that. Okay, well, his pick does have Walter Ross, so no pressure.
Well, my pick is the same. That's why I've got the card written down.
That does make sense. No, I think about it.
For argument's sake, my
go
original
on.
thought was Double or Nothing. And I was sat there thinking, that can't be right, surely. It can't be right, can it, Maffew? Can it be right, Maffew? And Richard Tubman said, do you remember TakeOver New York? And I was like, oh, yeah. So I've not written down the Double or Nothing card. Cody versus Dustin was there. We had that really long 6-woman tag match in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
We had the Battle Royal to kick it off.
We
had Sammy Guevara versus Kip
Kip.
Sabian in a twink off.
Lucha
we
Bros
had
and the
Lucha
Bucks.
Bros versus the Bucks.
Jericho and Omega.
versus Omega.
Moxley's debut was a big moment.
Moxley's
on it.
debut with a big ending. It had a lot to go for it, but yeah, that just for argument's sake, I'll go with that. But if you pick Takeover, I'll count it as a victory for it as well.
Well, it's a tough choice to decide between Cody's checkbook and my undying love for Volta. I think you'd be all right. Well, I just gave him the last one to AEW. NXT wins this one.
Well, we both went for it, so it's good.
Yeah.
Got to be unanimous. That's the word, isn't it?
That's
Unanimous.
right. Like how Andy Joshua beat Ruiz. Just saying.
England. Yeah.
That's right. Where are we? Match of the year.
Oh,
Last year's winner, Gargano versus Ciampa. No surprise there at New Orleans.
did that win?
Yeah.
Okada
Well,
Omega.
I love Gargano
Okada
versus Ciampa,
Omega.
yeah.
That was a great match, to be fair. Yeah,
That's right.
That was
All the
really
New Japan fans have blocked me on Twitter. So, Ross, match of the year 2019.
Back to double or nothing we go. I don't know why I had to do that, but we've gone there.
Le Champion.
Cody versus Dustin.
There we go. Had to be that one.
Not if you're going to give it star ratings just based on in-ring action and all. No, not in-ring. You know what I mean? Wrestling moves
Yeah.
and big ones and flippy ones. Nah, it's not that. It's a story, and that's the best kind of professional wrestling for me. The blood. Yeah, I did right at the end.
Imagine if he said it like that. Everyone would be like,
I
"What?
did right.
Dustin, man, how are?
It's like that scene.
I need you."
You really like Friends. It's like when Monica and Rachel. Is it Monica and Rachel crying?
Oh,
with each
yeah.
other?
Run where I am.
But I go if you.
Well, we're picking up all the good bits of the match, aren't we?
Baxter.
It was a proper throwback professional wrestling match, both in terms of the story and the action and the blood. The blood took things to new levels. For me.
Yes, it did.
Was because it'd been a while since, like in the big American wrestling, we'd seen a proper gash. Was it? You're the one. A
Why
proper,
should we nominate this for best match? Proper
proper
gash.
gash. Whoa. You put that in my mouth, you did. What am I saying? I need this end. Yeah, end the year.
Hey, so
I need
Jack,
to go.
Jack,
Did
what's
it,
yours?
did it.
What's your play the music? Jack, what's yours? Save us.
Mine's also the same match though. It's Cody versus
Oh.
Dustin. There was that proper no.
What would be your second pick for
Yeah, I'll
argument's
come up with a
sake?
second one just for yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go for just for argument's sake, but I do think we should pick that one. I'll go for a second place for Volta and Tyler Bate
Oh yeah.
from Takeover UK. Cardiff, was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
That was a really, really good match. And also on that show, actually, another really good match was when
The tag
Flash
team.
and
Yeah.
Andrews won. Yeah. But the main event was spectacular. Really long, but it didn't feel that long because it was good.
Yeah.
But Cody and Dustin should win, Maffew. Come on now. Come on. Oh.
Yeah. I'm teasing. No, I'm picking
Oh,
that one.
All right.
No, I fully agree. I love that match.
Yeah.
Cody, big match Cody, I think you should call him.
Used to be 3-star Cody, wasn't it? That was the meme going around on the
long
Twitters.
time ago. Now, I think the joke was, I forget who said it, Cody's a great wrestler. If you want a 3-star match out of him, he'll give you a 3-star match. If you want a 4-star match out of him, he'll give you a 3-star match. That used to be that joke, but now it's like, after Dustin, after Jericho,
He's the best
he's
storyteller.
3.5-star Cody here. I'm just kidding, please pay me. This moves on to Promotion of the Year. Completely unbiased, of course. 2018 winner,
Oh, no.
NXT.
Yeah, see? Oh, no, but it didn't exist.
Yeah, it
obviously.
existed, sorry. So, what will we get this year, Ross?
Bollocks.
NXT.
Ooh.
Go for the win.
It's weird because we're sat here now, whatever day it is. What day is this going out? I've got no
don't
idea.
know.
December.
NXT is what AEW was marketing themselves as before AEW started.
Yeah.
That is my first issue, because the Dark Order and Brandy and all that, it really drags it down for me. The rest of the stuff's great, but that's sort of spooky stuff. There's too much of it. One is fine. The Dark Order by themselves, have at it. Why not have a spooky stable? But there's too much of that nonsense going on for my liking. And if you look at if a graph was made of like the
second graph reference,
right? A graph of the ratings between, like, if out of 10, your rating for Dynamite would be like up there consistently, maybe one down, and up there consistently. Pay-per-views would come round. It would drag the median score down, wouldn't it? I think, by and large, the pay-per-views so far have been a little bit underwhelming.
That's very anti-AEW. Why are you nominating NXT?
Because of these reasons against AEW. I think NXT's been a far more consistent thing with far less nonsense and not far more great action. A little bit more good action.
Yeah.
No, you laugh at what you said, but I do agree with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Awesome.
That's my AEW bias there.
I was going to say, well, I can tell. Worth every cent. So, Jack?
Well, I am nominating AEW, but Ross has been really convincing in his pitch for NXT there. So I really like AEW, and I think I nominate them more just because they've absolutely changed the game compared to what they've actually done. And I have enjoyed the product, and I've enjoyed the big matches here and there and stuff. But I do have to agree that I look forward to the action of a takeover more than an AEW pay-per-view. But I look forward to the event of an AEW pay-per-view more than a takeover, because takeovers by their very nature are usually before a bigger WWE pay-per-view. But I've gone for AEW more for what they've done rather than how they've done it, if that makes sense. So,
yeah,
but
I see what you're saying.
I'm going to get biased and that.
God, the comments for this video already swimming with happiness.
Yeah.
So, like every Wednesday, I have to pick between AEW and NXT. I'd love to be that one guy that goes, if you can't just watch them both, and then make mistake videos highlighting both of them. But that's not how we do things here. Have either of us got any tickets or things to the next AEW show? No. Let me just check. No, nothing. You know what? I liked NXT this year, Ross.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, but my opinions...
Do you have
like
NXT tickets?
No, but I can get them. Anyway, I'm going to go with NXT.
Fair enough.
But it's tough. They're both nice, etc., etc.
They're both really good, but there is just less bollocks on NXT.
Yeah.
That's the big difference.
What the bollocks in NXT? Let me think.
Not a lot.
Tom Campbell doing his chants in the crowd. Yeah, it's a hard life watching NXT. You're right. Moving on.
NXT's a two-time winner. Is that the first repeat winner?
Double diddler.
That's the double diddler NXT.
Diddler squared.
They'll put down the adverts, like
Cultaholic double diddler.
Nerdcube. This is really good. Cultaholic 2 diddlies. Wrestler of the year, the last, final, and arguably most prestigious diddler of them all. 2018's winner, Will Ospreay. Ooh,
Shock.
Good him. Jack. No, did you last time? Ross?
No, you didn't.
No,
You did
you
Ross
did.
first both times. That's
Jack.
right. Yeah.
We should pick for best wrestler of 2019.
It's like 2018.
Unfortunately,
Froze.
it's Will Ospreay again.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I've nominated the
Okay.
same because I can't go against my system. I do a whole list to find out who my wrestler of the year is every week.
Do you?
Yeah, you can find
What's
it on
that called?
cultaholic.com. It's called Wrestlers of the Week.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Ospreay's won this one again by a wider margin than he did last year. I'm starting to worry that I might be a bit biased. I know.
No, we don't have that here.
No, we don't. But no, he's just had incredible matches this year. He was in Best of the Super Juniors and the G1 Climax and the other one, wherever the other tournament he was in was. Maybe he was in the Super J.
5-star wrestling.
He was in 5-star years ago.
128-man tournament.
He was in loads of stuff. He did loads of wrestling, and he's had really good matches with some of the best wrestlers in the world. And I'm scared that they're going to push him even further, and then next year he'll do really well again. I just want him to have a rest. Take a year off, Will, and then you can stop it.
Yeah. You're listening.
So I'm nominating Ospreay, but I'm not happy about it. That's right.
Okay, that's an interesting way of putting that, but
Cheers.
he has had a lot of good matches this year.
He
You
has.
are right. Ross?
I had a sneaking suspicion Jack might go for Will Ospreay.
No
so
way.
I made sure to go for somebody different. I'm going for Ray Phoenix.
Oh,
all right. Wasn't expecting that.
What a shout.
Watching Dynamite. Obviously, I haven't seen too much of his AAA or whatever he does down south. But in down south, in
You can't-
Mexico.
We're from bloody Mexico.
But every week on Dynamite, when he wrestles, he steals the show, and that's all I need to say, really. He just steals the things he does on the ropes you never seen before. Well, I hadn't seen before. because I haven't seen too much of his matches. I can't believe it's the same Rey Fenix who appeared for WCPW.
Oh,
I remember sitting there saying to Richard, I thought he was going to be good.
Oh.
I'm not saying he phoned it in, but he might have done.
What match did he have?
I've got no idea.
he was in a Rumble with Pacini.
I remember it was him and
maybe.
Drago.
Oh.
I don't know if that was the match, but him and Drago were the two imports that I was like, are they meant to be good, are they?
They were good on Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Before that,
they were underwhelming for WCPW.
watch the old just to prove that Phoenix has always been really good. Him and Mil Muertes did basically a casket match in Lucha Underground. It's mint, so good. It's called a Grave Consequences match. Ooh,
Whoa!
I know. Yeah.
Like what Corey's got when Morrow shows up. Wow,
Jeez.
I was not expecting you to say Rey Fenix.
Every week when you watch Dynamite, when he's wrestling, he's the one that steals the show.
He does some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You know which move I really like that he does, as well as all the boingy like split legs and that. Though just the big what?
Carry on.
The boingy split legs.
What JR would say.
That's his name.
That flip. Do you remember when Moxie did the old X-Plex thing?
Yeah.
That's the flippy dippy do.
Torpedo con hello.
God, hello.
Anyway,
Where is he, Phil?
What
Oh, he's gone. I like his jumping, spinning back kick to someone in the corner,
Oh, okay.
and he always catches them. And it looks like
X-Pac.
he's just taking and it looks like he's just taking the face off. Yeah.
Wow. Rey Fenix.
Ray Phoenix
Ray Phoenix.
from Sunderland.
Raise case and raise case.
Turns out
All
the
right.
Lucha Bros are from Sunderland. I'd love that.
Stop this. We're not going to go through it. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with Rey.
Whoa!
Because I watched his as respect Ospreay's matches with the likes of Carl Fletcher
Yes.
and some Japanese people. The matches Fenix have everywhere. From AAA, the series of Kenny Omega during the title on Dynamite.
That was good for that belt.
I
belt.
love AAA this year.
That belt, that one. That belt they've got.
That right.
That belt they've got.
That belt they've got. Yeah.
What's it called?
The AAA Mega Championship.
Mega. Looks.
Mega Campeon de AAA.
It's a really bad designed belt, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't like it, mate.
Really?
No, positive thoughts. Lads. I'm going to go with that just because it's cool to see you appreciate that type of wrestling.
Oh, he's one guy I've become very much exposed
Yeah.
to by watching AEW, and he's been the best.
Yeah, Ospreay knows he's good.
I'm sure Ray's always like, lads, that match was crap. I wish I'd never done that. Do
He
you think
checks Cultaholic for the rest of the week. He's like, oh, no.
How do I beat Ospreay?
Yeah.
Well, you have now,
Yeah.
Ray. Well done, mate.
Oh, wow, a happy ending here from the second annual Culta Diddley, whatever you want to call them. Thank you very much, Ross.
Thank you to you, Maffew. I've just stopped working today.
That's fine. We're at the end. Thank you very much, Jack.
Thank you.
Well, not that we've got 2 more to do, and I've got another video to do on top of that.
He's breaking kayfabe. Just quick, hurry up.
Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoy all these lovely pics. Please, please, please don't hesitate to tell us what you think in the comments. We're not going to read them. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Is this after Christmas?
Happy New Year.
I don't know what it
Happy
goes
holidays and
Happy Hanukkah.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, you can pledge to our Patreon at patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe, and don't forget, join us